Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have recycled Christmas DIYs to share with you. I hope that you will enjoy these. I went digging through the recycle bin in order to come up with the pieces to create these. And honestly, I think the stuff that I used is stuff that probably most of us would have laying around the house, or ask a friend, ask a neighbor. It should be pretty easy to come up with. Of course, you'll need a little bit of paint and glue, but we actually want to create some decor out of the recycle, so you need a couple of things in order to do it. But I think these turned out super cute. I hope that you will enjoy. Please give it a thumbs up if you do, and also let me know which one is your favorite, and let's get started. Okay, so the first one is kind of random but so simple I had to share it with you. I just took a scrap of tinfoil, I pinched off little pieces of it in order to fill these plastic ornaments. They come two for $1 in Dollar Tree, and for costing almost nothing. They have a beautiful silver color with a really unique textured look inside. Honestly, I feel like using something like Hershey's Kisses, like the silver, red, or green wrappers, could also be crumpled up and stuck inside to fill an ornament as well. Be creative and have fun with this. Okay, so for the next one, I'm using a laundry pod container. This is my first time using the Waverly chalk paint that comes from Walmart, because I always buy my chalk paint on Amazon. You guys know I always leave a links in the description box for all my items, and I do purchase a lot of them on Amazon just because that is convenient for me. I think this one is a little cheaper to get in Walmart though if you buy your chalk paint there, and this one is in the color Mineral. I have to say though, I don't know if it's just this particular bottle of paint or if it's just this particular color, because I haven't used the Waverly one before, but I found the smell of this one to just be really strong, and I had to keep the windows, the door open next to me while I was painting because I just really couldn't stand the smell. I do always try to paint in a well-ventilated area. I just really disliked the smell of this one for some reason. Anyway, it did dry super fast, and then I took some of my Java brown chalk paint and I just brushed some of that on there as well. This one definitely has a smell. I just don't notice it that much unless I get closer to it. Anyway, if you've been using chalk paint for a while, do you have a favorite brand, or where do you prefer to get your chalk paints from? Next, I crumpled a bunch of old newspapers down into the container, and now I'm using a couple of the papers that they use at like Home Goods, TJ Maxx, Hobby Lobby, places like that, to wrap breakable items in. You could also use some gift wrap or tissue paper for this. I just gathered it kind of in the center and made like a little bunch here, and I stuck it down into the container. And now you could wrap your container top around the edge with some ribbon if you want to. I actually had a little bit of leftover twine from Dollar Tree, so I decided to just use that up. And I just went around and around with this, and then I kind of tied it in place. I left the strings hanging down naturally. You can use a little bit of hot glue if you need it to keep everything in place. And then I also stuck in just a little leftover piece of pine and berries that I cut off of a Dollar Tree pick that I kind of took apart. And then I added in candy canes, and you could totally do real ones in here if you want to, although I'm using the plastic ones from Dollar Tree because I'm going to be placing this under the red and white candy tree that I'm doing in the foyer. And if I do real candy canes, Kylie will definitely be into them and be trying to eat them all. She noticed this right away, and she's like, "Are these real candy canes?" So yes, I cannot have real candy canes sitting on the floor under my Christmas tree with access for the children to get at. I do think this goes perfectly with the candy cane themed Christmas decor though, and I am debating making a second one of these to fill with real candy canes and then to like put out on the front porch for the mailman. I thought that might be nice to do at Christmas time. For the next one, I'm using a cardboard box, probably from Amazon or Target order, something like that, and I just started by spray painting it red. I did go ahead and find a rectangle box for this, and I'm using a paint. This is more of like a burgundy color paint maybe. It was actually a paint that I had left over from when I painted the flower boxes out here. So feel free to make this any color you prefer or use whatever you already have. Next, I'm using these plastic paper plate holders, which come as a 4-pack for $1 in Dollar Tree, so that is perfect. And I had some black paint on hand, so I just sprayed them with that. You can see through those little slats in the plastic here, so I'd recommend painting both sides, or you're going to see this blue color when you look at this later. So you'll want to do both sides of the wheel. You could also probably do this with chalk paint instead of spray paint if that's what you have. The spray paint gloss black made them nice and shiny, and chalk paint is just going to give you more of like a flat matte finish though. Once the paint was dry, I positioned these in place like wheels and I hot glued them onto the cardboard. At first, I thought maybe this one was going to be a little too small because the plate holders are kind of large, but it actually ended up working out pretty well. I think the sizing actually worked out better than I expected. Now for the inside, I'm taking 2 Christmas trees from Dollar Tree. You guys know how sparse and sad looking these trees are by themselves. So I am taking a pack of these little greenery twist tie things that they have and just bending them around into the tree to create extra branches in the tree. But you could also line up 2 trees with the 2 tree trunks like side by side, and then you could just kind of intermingle the branches. Here is one that I added a $1 pack with 12 extra ties into, and here is one that I did not. So I'm going to go ahead and add 12 ties into this one as well, just so it's like a little bit fuller looking Christmas tree. And then I was thinking that I did want to make them like different heights, so I added a smaller cardboard box in here to be kind of like a riser, and then you can just fill in around the trees with like some real hay, or you could even just use like some raffia, which is what I'm doing from Dollar Tree. I taped 2 paper towel rolls together like this, and then I painted over them with black chalk paint because the chalk paint is thicker than spray paint, and that is just going to help you cover any seams or lines in the cardboard paper towel rolls and just make it look a little bit smoother, a little more seamless. I also used a toilet paper roll that I painted as well, and I kind of flattened it in half and then glued that onto the end of the paper towel roll. There it is. So let me know what you think. I was also wondering now if the handle looks too long, and if you think it should just be like 1 paper towel roll instead of 2. I rolled up a couple of the Dollar Tree plaid scarves to kind of look like blankets. If you have a covered porch though, I think this would look absolutely adorable outside or in your entryway or even under the tree. I had so much fun doing this one. Moving on now, I wanted to make some candy decorations to put under the candy themed tree in the foyer, and Renee had this pillow that she wanted to get rid of. I don't know where we got this. She's had it for years. Anyway, I took some cellophane wrap. Dollar Tree sells this stuff. Basically, you can get it anywhere that you get gift wrapping supplies. It's great for wrapping up like platters of cookies when you go to your cousin's house for Christmas, or to make a holiday gift arrangement to give to your neighbors, anything like that. And it's pretty perfect for wrapping up some pretend candy pieces to place under the tree because it gives you that look of like a candy wrapper. I then used 2 little scraps of twine to tie up the ends and twist them to just kind of look like the ends of a hard candy. I don't know, this could be like a cinnamon candy, or what would be in a red wrapper like this. But of course you could use ribbon or even like an elastic hair tie, a rubber band, whatever you have. And then I did a similar concept using this Gatorade bottle that I found in the recycle bin, along with some of that paper that Home Goods wrapped my glassware up in. But tissue paper, or you could even use a brown paper bag, that would also work for this. I used a scrap of ribbon to tie the ends up, and I thought about coloring like a design or writing, stenciling something onto the white paper. I don't know. Let me know what you think I should do with it, if I should put some color on here or write something, because for right now I couldn't decide what to do, so I just left it plain. I did try to kind of open and fan out the ends of the paper though, just to help it look a little bit more like a candy wrapper. Next, I am taking this leftover chia squeeze box and I cut the bottom out of a paper bag so I could create one long piece. And I used a portion of it to wrap this empty box. I'm just creating a decoration here to go under the tree in the foyer. But again, you could actually wrap your real gifts like this as well if you want to, and you could use your paper bags instead of wrapping paper. I took a little bit of ribbon and wrapped that around to kind of cover the fold line in the paper, and then I stuck in a piece of greenery. You could add some berries or a pine cone off one of the holiday picks from Dollar Tree. You could definitely use a sprig of some real pine or greenery, or even just pine cones. If you have any of that outside in your area, feel free to grab something from Mother Nature and stick that in and use that as part of your decor. I also hooked a candy cane on here because I wanted this to coordinate with the candy cane theme that we had going on out in the foyer, and I just placed all of these pieces under the tree to help fill it in, cover the tree stand, and hide all the wires and electrical stuff and stuff like that under the tree. I did give it a quick vacuum first because if you've had a flocked tree before, you know how messy they can be. Moving on, the next one is a pretty big one, but if you order online as much as I do, you might love this one, or just ask a friend to save some of their Amazon boxes for you. I've got toilet paper boxes, Grove Collaborative boxes, you name it. So I've been setting aside larger, medium, and smaller boxes so that I could create 2 towers like this. And at this point, I didn't have the perfect number of sizes, so one tower is going to be taller than the other. But what I did was pick some wrapping paper to cover these boxes in. Now for me, I always buy wrapping papers after Christmas on clearance, and I actually took this gold wrapping paper off of the foam board backdrop that I have been saving since Kylie's first birthday party. I feel embarrassed to admit that, but I just didn't know if I was gonna need to use this again for anything. So here we are. I am doing a Christmas DIYs video and creating some decor that I want to put out on the front porch, and this large piece of gold wrapping paper is going to get reused and come in handy. I don't have a video of Kylie's party where I did that pink and gold theme, but I did just post pictures of it on Instagram if you want to see it, so go ahead over there and check it out if you want to see that party. It was so much fun. It turned out so pretty. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap all of these boxes. I decided to alternate the gold paper with a color patterned paper, which I believe this one was from Dollar Tree. And then to put a bow on the top of these gifts, I created the bow with scraps of ribbon. I had actually cut these for another project, and then that one didn't work out, so I was left with these like strips of ribbon that I didn't know what to do with. So all I did here was fold a round loop, and then I just kind of folded that back over onto the long piece a little bit. Hopefully you can kind of see what I did here. And I just used some packing tape to hold it down, hold it in place on top of the box. And I just kind of did all these loops close together and let the ends hang down. And I feel like it turned out looking pretty cute, like a bow. And it just used up all of my ribbon scraps and created 2 bows like this. So I have these in the dining room right now, but I'm thinking of using these as a front porch decor, like on either side of the front door like this, when it gets closer to Christmas. I did have to convince Kylie not to open these because they are empty and just for decoration. She was convinced that there was some Christmas presents here. So if you have little kids, you might not be able to keep these inside the house. They may try to open them. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so that you won't miss anything new. Have a beautiful, blessed day, and I'll see you soon in the next one. Bye!